First, how insignificant we are and what lucky we are. Insignificant because you said our planet is just a small piece of shit in the galaxy, it's nothing. So imagine what we are inside of this world, we are nothing. And lucky because in the whole universe, in the whole galaxy, we are the only country where life can be found. At least they didn't say the opposite yet. So this was even more difficult than win the lottery, and we did it. And this was not for the whole history. The life can be found in her just in our age, not during the whole history. So we won the lottery. We are here in the whole galaxy. We are the only people who can enjoy the Earth, who can enjoy this life. So we have to take advantage of that. We have to know, have to be aware of that. So me personally, I had a few accidents in life, like 4 times. I almost died with car, with bicycle, with plane. And after every time I felt like I was going to die, I really start to appreciate my life more and more and more. But I think it is sad because you don't have to wait to have an accident, to have an illness, to have some bankruptcy or serious problem to start appreciating your life. You have to do it from today, from now on. And this is going to be the main message of my talk. Next word which I feel truly identified is Wanderlust, a German word related with traveling. I really don't understand why, but since I was a child, I feel like crazy about traveling, exploring and discovering new countries. I spend 100% of my extra money in traveling. Really, I didn't spend, I invest my money traveling because if I didn't do that, probably I would not be here today. So I invite you to, you know what is our Earth in the galaxy. It's small and we have to explore it and know very well. This is just a picture of my last destination all around the world. Bootstrapping. I really am, I'm tired of people talking that I don't set up my business because I don't have money, because the bank doesn't give me a loan, because the government don't give any help. This is bullshit. The only 2 things you need to set up a company is a paper and a pen, and write your business plan. Obviously you are not going to start building planes, but you can give a service to a companies that add some value to them and you will get part of this advantage to you. I set up like 7 or 8 companies during my short period of life, and I didn't need money for any of them. Actually later on I will give you any examples of my companies or my business and about my business. And these last 2 words are the 2 that I like more. For me, to be an entrepreneur is not just a self-employment, it's to do what I want to do with the people I want to do. And enjoy every day, having fun, doing my job. Think about this, about 80% of your awakened time you will be working. If you don't like the job you do, it's probably that you will not be happy. Actually I think it is impossible to be happy if during the 80% of your time you are doing something you hate. So I invite you to follow your heart and to do something you will love. I will show you some examples about my first business because some of them they are really funny and I think you could feel recognized with them. Actually my first business I did was very young. After my father got divorced, I had just 4 years old, and as any couple that got divorced, they have bad relationship between them. They didn't talk to each other. But instead of seeing a problem, I saw a business opportunity on that because of this bad communication. I had everything twice. If I want to buy a video game, Papa buy football, Mama buy basket. If I want to do a birthday party, I do it twice. Everything, if I want to buy clothes, because they don't talk to each other, so I could have both two times more things. I don't know if this kind of ice cream was popular at your place. It's just like a plastic bag with colored water that you put in the frozen and after you can lick it. This kind of ice cream was very popular in Spain when I was a child in school, and every child buy in the bar inside of the school. And one day with my mother, I went to the street market and I found that the real price of this ice cream was like about 30% of the price we were paying in the bar. So I decided to buy a nice box, buy this in the street market, go to my home, put it in the frozen, and then go to the school every day with my ice box. I sold it like 50% cheaper than the school bar, and after 3 months I have like 90% of the share about this ice cream in the school. Unfortunately, the owner of this bar talked to my father, talked to my family, and said I couldn't do that because this was not loyal competition, because I wasn't paying taxes, so I had to quit. But no problem. Just 2 years later, I found another very good business. I don't know if you know about this product. It was like a pocket calendar with a man or a lady with underwear, and if you lick it, you get naked. Yeah, it's like that. Before we didn't have iPhone, and it wasn't so easy to have everything you want in your hand. So this was, they have a strictest on request every time. You just have to take this calendar, lick it, and it will be naked. It was like a real niche market. I have people from all the school around my neighborhood coming to me and buying this kind of calendar. I sold thousands and thousands. But unfortunately, someone in the school realized and they excluded me for a few days and I had to quit the business. But no problem. A few months later, I found a new idea because the video games was getting better and bigger, and you couldn't use the old diskettes floppy, so you need to. The CD-ROM was starting, but this was like the dream of every child, to have this kind of machine who could copy original video games and make fake copies of them. But obviously, as a child, I couldn't afford to buy this, but I found a way, because I was eating at the school every day. Once per month, my mother gave me an envelope with money to take to the school, with the money of the meals for the whole month. So I decided that I wasn't going to eat in the school, which is too expensive. If I didn't buy in the school 3 months, I can buy. I knew it was going to happen. Restarting the computer. Don't worry. Don't worry. So basically, I was going to my friend's house to have lunch every day. Other days I went to the supermarket, I buy some bread, some food, and I was saving a lot of money. And also I got, with more friends that had more money than me, we put together and we bought our first CD-ROM copy machine. And this business was amazing because when someone in the school buy a new video game, we ask for this game for 1 hour, we copy and we resell to all the school. Fake video games. And same with music. Before it wasn't possible to download music from the internet, you had to buy like €20 $20 a CD-ROM. So we were taking advantage of this business. I think I will use my computer because it is going to time. It is going to take a lot of time to restart this whole computer. Fortunately, I have it ready here. And I went back to the university, but my mind was already on business. I couldn't study a lot. I got my driver license, and I wanted to buy a car, and I started to find out on the internet. Unfortunately, in Spain, the internet was not so popular, but I discovered at that time a website called eBay. eBay was so popular in the UK. but not in Spain. Actually, for me, it was crazy that the English, you know, in Murcia, especially South Spain, we have a lot of English people living here because of, they have 50 golf courses, we have sun every day, the weather is very good. And they were doing auctions for cars from £1, selling one car from £1. This in my head was not, I couldn't understand it, but what was real. And I was following a lot of action during a few months, but due to the currency exchange rate, was not interesting for me, because at that time £1 was 1.5 euro, so was 50% more expensive. I mean, a car that cost £2,000 was almost 3,000 euro for me. And after participating in thousands of auctions, I realized the price they were buying and selling the cars was much more expensive compared to the garage price in Spain. I'm talking always about second-hand cars. So I decided to go to a lot of garage, take pictures of their car, and do auction on eBay for English people, for them. So finally, the price in Spain was about 2,000 euro, and the price for English people was £2,000. About the same money, but different exchange rate. So I started to sell cars to English people with my very poor English. At that time, it was even worse. And I sold like 200 cars. People didn't know internet, and I was doing the link between the old-fashioned garage and the English people living in Spain wanting to buy a second-hand car for their holidays. Actually, this business changed like 10 years later. £1 was €1, and I do the opposite. I bought a lot of cars from English people and sell to Spanish people because of the depreciation of the currency. So this is another game of bootstrapping. You don't need money to make a business. Just take some picture, put in the internet, go to the garage. They give 3,000 to the dealer, and I got 1,000. I do it hundreds of times. But this was the best business I did in my life. I don't know if you know this kind of pocket bikes. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
This in Spain was so popular in 2002, 2003. Everyone in Spain wanted to have this kind of pocket bikes. And I was the first importer of this product. I discovered it on the internet, and I tried to make a sales channel for this product, but it was very difficult. I couldn't do it. I went to the garage and I offered this, but they said, no, this is not legal. You cannot put a plate, you cannot matriculate it, you cannot go into the road with this. I went to the toy store, but they said, no, this is very dangerous. This could reach like 100 kilometers per hour, so it's very dangerous for boys. So I decided to create my own sales channel. So I did like this poster like that, this place, and I went to all the bars in Murcia around the city, and I leave one, like in the bar, I leave one pocket bike, and I put this on the wall. And people can sign for €5, and with the lottery, if this was year 2003, if the number you select was the same that Christmas lottery, national lottery, you will take the bike. The bike cost to me €200. I get €150 to the bar owner and €150 for me. And I start to put bikes and bikes and bikes in all the bars in town. And something very strange happened this year, 2003. Lottery finishing 0-0. But I don't know why we didn't put 0-0. It was something like that, from 1 to 99. So basically I take all the money and all the bikes because nobody won the bikes. So I was lucky, and this was the consequence. I had to rent a warehouse and put all the bikes there, and I decided to create a website and start to sell it through the internet, eBay, and other classified ads like Craigslist or similar, selling these bikes. And they start to become really popular because one guy had an accident and died, and they on TV they were talking every day about that. So people want to buy this kind of bikes, but they couldn't buy in a garage. They couldn't buy in a toy shop. The only way to get these bikes was through the internet, and I was the only guy selling these kind of bikes. So just in 2 weeks, I sold all of them. I went to China my first time. I bought one container. Before this container arrived, was already sold. I buy a new one. I had 3 containers on the way on the ship from China to Spain. And in 2 years, I sold like 20,000 units. This was really good business. I mean, almost no competition. The market profit was really high. But I was so young. I didn't have experience. I want to grow faster and faster. I was taking more capital, more people into the company because I needed to buy in China. I wait 3 months until I got the bikes and then sell it. That like private equity capital came into my company. They buy a big part of it and they throw me away. Similar that this is very famous in this case, Steve Jobs with John Scully in '85. So basically they said, no, you don't belong to this company anymore. So I have a very good lesson. But for me it was not a problem because at that time in Spain we have the real estate bubble. People were selling houses like crazy. And I realized about a very good business because my mother sent me to the shop to buy a, how is the name of this? Faucet. And they asked me for 50 euros in the shop. And I realized when I went to China, I sold it for $1 in a Chinese factory. So I decided to start importing this kind of faucets for the real estate business. That was one of the top in Spain at that time. And this was a very good business, but I did this company with bad people. We were 3 partners, one from China, was the owner of the factory, one guy from Morocco, who was taking care of sales in North Africa, and me, I was dealing with the Spanish distribution. But I had a very bad situation because one night police called me, asked me about a truck we had, a truck for delivery, and they asked me where I was at that time because they caught my truck with 3,000 people on the way to China. The guy from Morocco disappeared, and I had all the big trouble just for me. And imagine, fortunately, I didn't have too many problems with justice because I could justify that I didn't know anything about this business and I was nothing to do with this. But the money problem, they were huge because the account were frozen. We couldn't pay to anyone, and basically with the pocket bike business, I did my first €500,000, and here I lost my first €1,000,000. So basically, I lost my first $1,000,000, and imagine for a 22 years old boy, it's a very complicated story. Actually, I found my first depression. I was 10 days in bed. I couldn't wake up. The situation was too much for me. And I decided I need to change my life. I need to find my vocation. At university, I didn't pass any subject. I was just making money, losing money, making money, losing money. I was in a very bad shape. So I suggest you this book because I really love it and helped me a lot in this situation from Dark Carnegie. Really good. This will be the best $10 you invest in your life. And fortunately, I decided what I want to do in life. I decided I want to help companies to sell abroad and to buy abroad. And a lot of people ask me what is vocation. For me, it's very easy. Vocation is this kind of job that you will do it for free. Think about that. When you find a job you really like, you really love so much that you will do it for free, this is your vocation, and you have to go in this direction. So I decided that if I want to make company international, I have to make myself international first. So with 22 years, I decided to leave the country. And I have my direction, I have my B point, so I know what I have to do. I studied a lot, more than in the previous 20 years. Just in 3-4 years, I got 2 university degrees, I did 2 masters, I learned a lot of language, just to cut the business in half of the world. I changed my lifestyle. I was more than 100 kilo. I was really fat. I didn't eat fruit. I didn't eat vegetables. I was a complete disaster. I started to run marathon. I started to define how I wanted to be, to figure out which kind of person I would like to be in the future, and I started my plan. I made a lot of friends around the world. This is just I have 7,000. Now I have like 8,000 friends all around the world, very good people. This book's again really good, really interesting. I suggest you to take a look from that camera. It's a bestseller, probably you know about that. I started from Belgium, then I went to the States. I was working in Miami, then I went to Brazil. And finance. Someone told me once, live as if you were going to die tomorrow, but say as if you were going to live forever. And this is a very good quote, because in order to be free, in order to be good, we need to have some financial freedom. For sure you know this book, but I love it. I would like to recommend it because this helped me a lot. I give like more than 100 units of this book to a lot of people, and they really thank me because it teaches you the good way to manage your money. And now we know what is success. We know where are the 6 fields where we have to be successful. I will let you know my vision of how you can get it. First of all, assume your responsibility. Every day I meet people talking that I don't have the life I want because of the government, because of my mother, because of my girlfriend, because it's raining today. This is not a good way. We have to assume our responsibility. If you have the life you want, if you don't have it, it's just your fault. It's your responsibility. Don't throw it to other people. You have to assume that before move forward. Second, define your goals. If you don't have goals, you will not achieve them and you will not be happy. So happiness starts fixing goals. And if you fix goals, think big. As Donald Trump said, think big or go home. It's the same job. Make 1 million or make 10. You have to work 20 hours per day, you have to travel, you have to do crazy things. This is absolutely the same. So fix very high goals and think big. It's going to cost you the same before. This is an example, this is in Spanish, so before coming I made a screenshot of my Excel file when I put all my goals. And as you see, I don't think low goals. I want that will make you closer to your goal. And at the same time you fix your goals, you have to fix your whys. Why? Because this is what will keep you on the road when you get low. I mean, you start with motivation. If you want to run a marathon, you decided today, tomorrow you will run very happy, but after 3 weeks, you will be tired, you will have pain, it will be raining, it will be cold, and probably you will give up. But if you have a very good why, and you remember this why I'm doing that, why I am running, probably you will keep on your way. I will give you an example. Personally, for me, I have last year I decided to run every morning before going to work at 6 a.m. But I did it for 3-4 days, then I quit. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks later, I started doing it again for a few days. I quit, and I realized I didn't have my why. I just have my goal, run every day in the morning, but I don't have a why. So I found it, and I bought my number for a Paris marathon in 6 months later. I bought my plane, I booked my hotel, I pay everything, so I have a good why. This is going to be my first marathon. I don't want to be suffering, so I have to train every day to do that. After I have my why, I never fail, and every day I did my training. So find your goals, find your whys. This is Maurice Herzog. This is the first man in the world to climb an 8,000 all time. In the last days, they said to him, if you keep going, if you continue, we have to cut your fingers, your hands and your feet. And he said, no matter, I have my why, I have my goal, I will do it. I don't care. And he do it. And he said, every man in life has to find his own a big why that justifies everything else. Plan your way. Now we assume our responsibility, we fix our goal, our whys. It's time to plan the way, how we are going to get to this point. This is the most important and is my favorite step to success. We all want things, but just a few of us plan the way to get it. This is absolutely the most important. Me, what I do, I sit twice a year and I plan the next 6 months. I know what I am going to do all the weekends from now to September. I know how am I going to do the travels I will do, the exhibition I will assist, the new projects I will take care of the next 6 months. So this is very, very important. Planify everything. And you have to make habits. You have goals, but if you want to have results, you need a good habit that allow you to get there. If you want to run a marathon in 6 months, but you don't have the habit of run every day, you will not do it. So try to get good habits that get you closer. Motivation is what gets you started, and habit is what keeps you going. Every day we will not be motivated, but we can have the habit every day. Again, new recommendation, very, very good book. I love it, and this will help you to clarify your life. 7 Habits of High Effective People. 4. Now 5. We know our responsibility. We have our goals and whys. We planify the way. Now we have to fight for them. Determination, mental strength. We will find troubles. We will find people that don't want us to achieve our goals, because if we do it and they don't do it, we will be better than them, and they will try to find you because they don't want you to be successful. So life is hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie, and you know it. It is not going to be easy, but this is your mentality. I love this word, resilience. This physics said this is the ability to a body to deform and recover the shape again. Just to give you a real example of resilience, this morning I came here by motorbike, not by car, because a few weeks ago I had 2 cars, I sold it, because I was far away from my finance goals. I was planning to make some pensions plan, I expect to buy some apartment, some things. I couldn't do it, and I said, okay, I don't need these two cars. I sold my cars, I bought my apartment, I put some money in options and things. Some of my friends said, are you crazy going to a motorbike with the shoot, it could be raining? And I said, I don't care, I respect myself. I have a goal. This day I need to have this amount of money in my account. I didn't have it, so I sold my cars, I did my goals, and in 1, 2, 3 months I will buy the car I want, but you have to do it. So this is resilience. I could be traveling in a very expensive luxury car 3 months ago, and today I came with a small motorbike. I don't care. I know in 2 or 3 months I will have again the same or better car. 5 times, enjoy happiness. Once you define your goals, you fight, and you got them, is the time to enjoy. Before I said success is to get what you want, and now happiness is to enjoy of this success. This is a picture I really like from my first marathon in Paris. I talked about this again. After 6 months of suffering, defining my goals, run every day, every morning, call, I went to Paris and I won my first medal. So I really enjoyed, I was happy, I finished my goal, I did it. So when you propose something and you achieve it, please enjoy it, because this is happiness. Enjoy just for a few days and then fix the next goal. And last of them, share. I think life is a closed circuit where you get what you give. This is also called karma. If you give bad things and you do bad things to people, it will come to me even stronger. But if you do good things for people, it will come back. I truly realized that as much good things I do for people, as much good things happen to me. And you will be conscious about that. Me with other John, the businessman in Murcia, we did our own non-profit organization. We are helping people all around the world to develop their project. The name in English is like Entrepreneurs Without Borders. And now we are developing a lot of projects in Africa, especially in Burkina Faso, because I told you before we have very good relationship there. And we are helping people with good ideas to develop these projects. So, I'm going to finish soon. Just I want to review the conclusions of my talk. Success is get what you propose. Happiness is the ability to enjoy this success. If you don't fix your goals today, you will not be success and you will not be happy. And I suggest to plan and write and share all your goals. Why is it important to share your goals? Because you will feel compromised. If I said to you today I am going to do this thing next year and I don't do it, probably you will think I'm a loser. So sometimes good if you want to run a marathon again, tell in your Facebook wall, I bought my number for New York Marathon, I will do it in 9 months. So 300, 400, 500 people will know about that, and you will need to do that in order to don't lose. And my goal of this talk, I told you I have goals for everything, and for sure I have goals for this talk. If not, I will not be here this morning. What I want you to do is think about that. Today is 17 March. You will die on 17 September. You have 6 months of life. And you have 6 months to become the person you want. If in 6 months you are still alive, for sure it will be like that, don't worry. You will have another opportunity, another chance. You will have another 6 months to become the person you want to become the person you want to be. And again, and again, and again. After 2, 3, 4 years, you will be the person of your dreams. So I hope in a few years, in a few months, we meet each other and you told me that just because I was here 1 hour with you this morning, you are a better person and you are successful and you are happy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This is my contact information in case you want something. I'm happy to stay with you. Sorry for my English, I learned it in China, so in China I didn't learn too very good English. When you have my details. I hope you enjoy your time in Murcia. It's a very good city and you will have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Barcelona.
Barcelona,
Next
place.
Yes, and then going back home on Tuesday, the 22nd.
Last Sunday, 3 days ago, I ran Barcelona Marathon.
Oh,
People from more than 100 countries in one club.
just in one.
Yeah. And then after Barcelona, you come back to Murcia? Or you go to
No, we'll be going back.
in Murcia?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything.